Hello everyone, my name is Salah Divin, surveyor, GIS analyst and freelancer. As a survey analyst, our daily routine, we use manual QGIS to clip and filter and export layers over and over. And as you see here, this is QGIS interface. We used to do all analysis using this interface and using the menus and toolbars, and also using processing tools as well to get our job done. But if you think about that, if we want to automate these workflows, how much time we're going to spend, we're going to save, and how much money we're going to save by automating our workflow and using QGIS, PyQGIS, and Python. I've been using those for almost like 20 years, between QGIS, ArcGIS, ArcView even back then. But the common thing between all these tools is using the manual mouse clicking to get your thing done. So instead of that, I use this dataset today, and this is also part of our outreach to our communities back in Sudan, and teach and train people in special analysis, special thinking, and critical thinking also, and project management, and all the stuff we're talking about today. I've been adopting and teaching open source geospatial tools. I'm pushing for using open source from operating system to GIS analysis to analytics tools, statistics, and all in between. I used to carry hard drives full of open source software, documentation, applications, programs, tutorials, and take it back home and let students, teachers, and others to download and copy whatever they can handle. Some had room to install QGIS and take some shape files or some documentations. Others could only take PDFs and few shape files. But every single one of them was hungry to learn, and that would drive me crazy to bridge that gap by sharing my expertise, knowledge, information, and adopting open source to reach out to those people with very limited resources. And open source for me is not just because it's free, but it will help us to reach and transfer knowledge to those who have not have a chance or a resource where they were in rural areas in Sudan and elsewhere, and where commercial licenses will never will. So I will give my appreciation and thanks for whoever put those data together for us and serving it as for teaching purposes and training. And for open source community at large, we thank them for what they're doing and keep pushing for the limits to helping other people building communities and push forward. Let me explain this data set we see here. This is just a part of the documentation we use for training and teaching students. I did this workshop 2 years ago to helping a student and surveying engineering department to wrap up their final projects. And this is just a site selection analysis using those 7 layers you see up here. And this was a part of the exercise data sets. So our traditional workflow as GIS if you are GIS practitioner or your GIS analyst, you day in and day out, you go and load data, clean them, reproject them, and start clipping and buffering and all kinds of nudie stuff you used to do. For scripting, this is my start. I will start with from here for the plugin. I use Python console, and that's where I start my automating from here. So those who automate their workflow, those are the best folks out there by saving time and money. So that's why I did this today, and I want to show you this and how I did it, and show you what's some insight and how easy you can set up for yourself, and you start automating the stuff you would like to do and enhance your workflow and save your time. So as you see here, the buildings. This is the buildings we're going against. If you go here for our attribute table, this is the data we have. How many features? We have 4,700 plus feature in this data set, and we're going to looking for the best site with some criteria we wrote, and we fed that to the AI to include it in its script. So I guide the AI assistant with my knowledge and expertise in the field to direct it to where I want to write the code and debug the code, and also verify the code based on my knowledge, on my expertise for spatial analysis, and the result we aim to. As you may see here, if we go to do this, take us last time when we did this to the students in the workshop, about 2 hours to clip. We did 6 rounds of clips, buffers, as well as select, export, and repeat for each one. And it took almost 2 hours to get this going and get the result out. But now here, what I did is automate the whole thing using QGIS, PyQGIS, and open source LLM, Ollama, and opencode. And I will show you exactly what I did here. So just bear with me, and let me show you here what we're going to cover here is criteria we wrote. Was 6 of them criteria, and that was also here in my see if I have my GitHub here, but not. Let me go and show you here. This is the download here. This is the criteria. This is the criteria we wrote. Also, you're going to see this also my GitHub too. So this is a school zone. We about within 1,000 meters. We exclude right of ways. We'll be out of right of way, and then also it's not flooding zone around the river, and also it has to be in urban planning, urban zone. And the area we requested about 800 to 1,200 square feet. That's a building footprint. And also we throw there population of area, because also we have estimate population as layer as well and behind the scene. So that's the setup for the criteria. And now let's go and hit our model here. So I'm inside the folder, and now I'm going to run my transcript. The transcript by itself is a chain of 3 transcripts, and we wrote every one by itself, and then we chain them together in a pipeline, and that helps us. But by 1 click or 2 click, we automate the whole workflow, and that the setup you're going to see in a minute. So you're going to set up your environment. I've been running open source LLM or Ollama for a while, and on top of that I use opencode, and of course you need QGIS, PyQGIS, and Python to link everything together. So let me run the demo, and then we're going to discuss more about that. I'm inside the folder, and you can download this, and you can follow up with me. You can follow shadow with me, or you can go and download later and play with it. Python demo py enter. Now what you see here, this is the same as we saw earlier in the QGIS interface. Same layers. What I did, I just told them go inside the folder, read whatever files with .hp shape files or GeoPackage. It went inside, it read all those, and now they have, he knows now the 7 layers and name them. It reads the name, and then also it reads the criteria as well, and then the output, what we requested, because that's what we requested. We need interactive dashboard, QGIS, PDF ready to export. Now that's the first click. The second click, I hit enter. Go inside, grab those, create interactive map, which holding only those raw data by name, count features, and now it starts by one excluding, and boom, here we go. Wow, that's amazing. So what you see is this from the raw data. We get this very handy dandy report, very elegant, with title, tagline, and summary of the suitable sites. And this is the beauty about that. Here, this is my favorite here. This is the funnel. From this here, you compare this here, how many features total, how many features, what you see here, what you got here, right? Then we start funneling down using this a filter for area. And keep in mind, also the area is not included here. What it did is it went inside and calculate the area as well in meters, right? So it calculates the areas first. That's also included in the algorithm. Then I'm gonna exclude the areas less than or greater than this specifications here. Then drop down to zone, school zone. We need within 100 or 1,000 meters within school zone. And you can also follow that here as well in the map as well, right? And then let's go to, where is the school? Let's just bring that in. This is a zoning. Let's go exclude that one. This is the school, this highway, and this is the school. When you go to school, you see the buffer around the school based on whatever you give them, about 300 feet, school about 1,000. That's what you see, all right? Then we go down highway. How many you need? 300. That's a 300 buffer. And then go down to the river, which is about 300 buffer around it. That's what it is. So whatever sorted out from here, now you have it here as 9 of them. Yes, site met that criteria we wrote earlier. We wrote it as text file and fit that to the model, and model reads it and send it back for us, and in terms of spatial features. This is another filter here. Also, I requested it to compare, and also this is the output here. You can export in terms of QGIS, print out for if you have a meeting with the PM, and this is a PDF, and this is also the CSV export as well. So not only that, if you are familiar with ArcGIS or QGIS or ArcView back then, you see here this is interactive map. It reflects whatever is here, and you can go back forth. You see, how's that? Now you have this. You have that too, right? Increase, zoom in, zoom out, all that capabilities. And also not only that, it's spitting down here the table related to the features we selected earlier. So when you click, you're gonna highlight that one, right? Let's go and click again on urban, right? It's not selected before. Let's select it and go and look for them where those are. Here, for example, that one. See here, urban is selected. Okay, the urban zone. Let's see here. All right, let's go and look again. Here we go. It's connected between the table and between the feature and the like here. We go there, and here we go. So this is just very elegant report, and this also will increase your confidence in your data set and your process. So automation is very important in our daily life, especially when it comes to GIS. You're going to save a lot of time and money and avoid all these tedious, laborious, and time-consuming clickings. So if you see here, we filter based on criteria, and we sort them as they go down, and then we pre-project them, right? And then after that, we spit this dashboard. and his dashboard. We can go through it, and you can slice it and see how we slice those between the 4,700 feature to 9 areas within less than a minute. And that's amazing, because we only did this about 3 or 2 hours at least to get to this point. We use ArcGIS, we use QGIS, PyQGIS, and Python to chain all this script together and run them as one pipeline. And use, if you go behind the scene, you will see our all processing toolbox. We use them, and those what we use, buffer, clip, export. So if you like what you see, give a comment, and if you have any workflow need to be automated, let us know, and then we're gonna add that to what we need to do and go from there. The next route, I'm gonna put this, as you see here, is HTML on my local. I would like to take this to Postgres and suck it to GeoServer server and spit out a website live demo. You can see it in any platform. If you have any question, let me know. With that, I will conclude the best QGIS analysts, those guys who automate their workflow, and it's also make it easier for them and save time and money. And this is protocol. If you see here, and this procedure it's automated. It's you can take it and you can do it and then reproduce it again without any problem. Change your data set, change the criteria, but the same pipeline and the same workflow. Thank you again, and see you in the next one. Bye.